The chair recognizes Ms. Jackson Lee of Texas.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much, and let me thank the distinguished ranking member and chairman and my colleagues and members and the witnesses. Every time you put yourself forward, we certainly thank you very much. But this is a journey that I've taken now for 28 years, maybe a little shorter, and it never fails that whenever a Republican administration is in, my Republican friends are in the majority, there is an enormous crisis, and the executive does nothing. There is no effort to write legislation. There's no effort to correct what any one of you are saying. And it is, with all due respect and admiration and friendship, it's a broken record. It is literally a broken record. Before the late John McCain passed, there was a Gang of Eight who had an enormous contribution to trying to do an overhaul over immigration reform. And it was the party that is now in charge of the House that blocked it. I worked with, on this committee, a chairwoman by the name of Candace Miller from Michigan. We worked on comprehensive immigration reform measures to address the U.S.-Mexico border, which was blocked by the Republican leadership at that time. Do your homework. In years past, we've written legislation to provide the border personnel every manner of support we could give them. So let me be very clear. The Remain in Mexico program was horrible because I went and visited the squatter that the people were sitting in. There was nowhere for them to go. It was misery. Nothing was happening. The border wall, you can get a nice comment and quote, our men and women at the border are very nice people. They will give you quotes. But it is well known that most of fentanyl comes through the United States citizens through legal ports of entry. And it is also well known that even though you'll say, well, that's because we need more border wall, that the border communities fight you for the border wall not to have it. And smugglers and others find other ways. As relates to the asylum cooperative agreements, we have agreements now with Venezuela, Haiti, Cuba, and Nicaragua. And as relates to Title 42, the Republicans voted to end the public health provision that the president ended, and by its very essence, you ended Title 42. Let me quickly, because I will be going to one witness, because all the other witnesses, I know what you're going to say, but I do appreciate the work that Ms. Acer is doing, so please be ready for a question. I'm trying to get through. I heard the word impeachment. I don't know whether it was going in the direction of my president, the President of the United States, or whether it was going in terms of Secretary Mayorkas, an immigrant himself, who pulled himself up by the bootstraps and has more commitment in his tiny finger than what I would imagine some who advocate against him. And I make that generic. But Secretary Mayorkas has done nothing contrary to his boss. He is a member of the cabinet, and his boss wants America to be safe, the President of the United States. And every aspect of work that we can do, from the increased resources, from adding to the additional personnel, to creating pathways for people to parole in, for creating the app, and the numbers have gone down. They surge up, they go down, it depends upon movements of people. And so you have no more answers than anyone else. Mr. Wolf, you were in there for a year or 2 years, and I don't see anything that you did that has brought down anything that we're talking about. And this is not a personal statement, because I want to add and say, I appreciate your service to the nation. But everybody that's sitting there that's criticizing had their opportunity. We've got to come together as a country and stop scaring our constituents, because America is getting more diverse, and they are contributing to the economy and to the culture of this nation. The world watches as to whether or not we can make this experiment work. They're in awe of us. And they come because they're in awe, and because they're desperate, because they think this is the greatest country in the world, and it is. And its democracy, however challenged, is still standing. It bothers me to masquerade. I have this question, Mr. Chairman, asked her indulgence so she can answer it. I represent Catholic Charities and many others. I fought to get hostages back from Russia. I have dealt with the crisis of deportation, families separated. What does it do to our very dedicated nonprofits who are innocent, who have the responsibility of taking care of people in the streets, people who are separated, children who are separated, people who are traveling, that you would assess them criminally or fine them so that they're so scared that they cannot do the normal humane things for individuals who even may be in here on a legal pathway coming into the United States. Mr. Chairman, I ask your indulgence for her to be able to ask that question.
Just if you could make your answer short, Ms. Jackson Lee's already over her time, so I'll allow it. I'll allow it, and just make your answer as quick as possible.
No basis for the secretary to be impeached, but go right ahead.
It's reprehensible. Not only does it punish people for acting on their humanitarian values, it also punishes them for acting on their faith beliefs as well. And it's totally counterproductive. I mean, here in America, we need our faith-based organizations, we need our communities to step up and be part of the solution. And many Americans want to do that and are doing that as we speak. Thank you.
Thank you. Gentlelady yields.